Alright everybody, welcome to part one of the two-part, apparently, Gimp tutorial on how to remove backgrounds with Gimp. Part two is going to be layering and other artistic kind of stuff. So basically from the PowerPoint video that I posted, you could see how I made those buttons without those backgrounds. And so that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. Not having backgrounds on things makes PowerPoint look a little bit more clean. Your presentations look more professional. So we're going to go ahead and get into it here in just a second. So the first thing we want to do is go up here to the top left and go to File and Open. And on the left here, you can see that we have the different places on our computer. And once you click on something, it'll show you all the files in there. And this is a preview pane. More on that later. So I'm going to find the file that I want to work with, and we're going to be working with the competency brain from the PowerPoint video. Once I find it here, I'm going to just click on that little guy, and it shows you a preview, which is useful whenever you have weird file names, or you have very similar file names as well. It can be useful. So now that I've opened it up, we want to get rid of this white background. Down here in the bottom right is all the different brush heads for all of our tools. And over here on the left is all of our tools. This button is select by color, which is very important for what we're doing. The cross is to move things around on the canvas there. The brush is for painting a color, and the eraser is to erase. So what we're going to do is we're going to select white, and we want to get rid of white, and we don't want to have a background. So you just go up there and click on it. And then down here, feather edges, that's going to leave us a nice little glow around what we've erased. So it gives you a soft edge as opposed to a hard edge. Right around 5 is pretty good in general. Our threshold will decide how close of a color to white we will select. And increasing this and decreasing this will affect how much white we're selecting. And gray is pretty similar to white, pretty close to white, so we want to make sure that we get this just right. So then all you have to do is click on the color. In this case, we're clicking on white, and it selects everything that's white. Now, in order to get rid of the background and have no background, we want to go up here and right-click on our layer and go down here to add an alpha channel, because alpha is invisible, basically. There's two ways you can do this, and I'm going to show you the hardest way first. So you go over here to the eraser, and you can start erasing. And I'm showing you right now the differences between the brushes. Those four are your main ones, and as you see, it's really just a soft edge to a hard edge. Or you can just press delete, and it gets rid of all of it for you. Sometimes one is preferred over the other. In this case, we're really just trying to get rid of white, so there's no need for the fine detail that you could use. Now, if you hold Control and use your scroll button or your scroll wheel on your mouse, you can scroll in and out or zoom in and out. And if you press Control Z, it will undo all that you've done, each step that you've done. And what I just did there was I clicked and I held and I dragged left and right, and that will adjust your threshold in real time. That way you don't have to type in the numbers and guess and check. I went up there to select and invert, and now I've selected every other color beside the first color that I selected. Again, Control Z, and I went back and re-inverted, so now I'm back to my original selection. And then you want to go to select none, because we don't want to get rid of any more. This tool right here is our cropping tool, and it's I mean, you know what cropping is. We're just going to cut off the edges. This is good because if you have big files, big images, it will crash PowerPoint. Also, scaling the layer will decrease the file size. This is pretty good. Right around 400, 500 is pretty good for medium-sized pictures in PowerPoint. The button that I selected is a manual scale tool that you can use as well. And so now that we're satisfied with our picture and its size, we want to go over here to File and Export. And we want to put some kind of identifier at the end there so we don't get it confused with other files with similar names. And we also want to change this JPG to PNG because PNG supports that alpha channel, and if you were to export it with a JPG or most any other file extension, it's gonna give you a white background whenever you export it. So that's all I have for this video, and the next one should be a little more complex and hopefully useful for y'all. Thanks for watching.